Hey everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation and Country Craft Creations. I have a walkthrough for my latest design team project for Country Craft Creations. This is for the May design team package that I received. It's Photo Play Travel Junk, and it's super adorable. I just love it. Makes me want to go on a trip. This is a great album. When I was designing it, I was thinking it was kind of a mash between an album, maybe a travel planner, maybe like a junk journalish kind of vibe. I just kind of went to town on the different things. Very vintage, very cool. I just love how it turned out. I used coffee felt brown paper from Country Craft Creations to cover everything. I used the lay flat method. If you don't have the brown, I think black would work. I think that craft would work. Natural would work. I think that there's multiple papers that would work with this, but since I had the coffee felt brown in my collection, that's what I used. Down below, I'll have a list of all the things that I used, links to get it at the store, and I think you're going to love this, okay? So I did receive the ephemera pack, and I used 3 pieces of that for the front page. This one here, I did use some twine that I received in the haul, a button from a previous design team package that I had, Granny's buttons from Country Craft Creations. It's super cute. And then I did add some brown seam binding from my own, Country Craft Creations stash. On the front cover, so I did use some foam squares to pop these up. So this is popped up with 1 layer of foam squares, and this one's popped up with 2, and then I tucked the flowers underneath. The flowers were from Prima, and they are in my design team package. And when I took them out, when they were in the package, they were kind of covered up like this, and then I took them out and I kind of fluffed them up, and they're just super pretty. One of them I did cut off because I did use just a couple of the leaves here and then some of the stamens here. But anyways, that's how I kind of did the cover. Really pretty. I used the mirror card I received in my design team package, and then the green, my colors cardstock for that. This iridescent bespoke ribbon is absolutely stunning with this collection. It just matches perfectly, and I had just had to use it on the spine as well. I'll show you that in just a second when I can lay this flat. On the back, I used one of the ephemera pieces that I got in the die cut pack, or the ephemera pack, on the back, and I wanted to show as much of the map as I could because I just thought it was gorgeous. So I did use this ribbon for closure, so it ties in a really big, beautiful, fluffy bow. And then let me show you the spine. I'm going to open this up, and then we can look at the spine. So for the spine, I really wanted to use this ribbon again on the spine. I just had to. So I ended up, and I'll tell you in the tutorial how I kind of did that. I did the bow, and then I added a little bit of the brown seam binding from my stash, and then a little bit more of the 1/8 inch ribbon that I used in this book that I got from the design team haul as well. And again, those are all listed down below so you can get them. But I just thought that was really pretty. I think it looks really good there, and I just really wanted to use it. So let's open this up, and I'll show you the album. So it mirrors itself. So what's on the inside cover on the front is on the back, and then pages 1 and 3 are identical, and pages 2 and 4 are identical. And so they repeat each other. So during the tutorial, I have this part made, and then I have pages 1 and 2 done, and then I'll show you how to make pages 3 and 4, which are identical to 1 and 2 again. So when we start, we have this gusseted envelope that is 7 by 5, so it's plenty big enough to hold pictures and things. In the tutorial, you'll see I did kind of a boo-boo on the back pattern paper for the envelope, so I ended up doing a little creative surgery here, and I used a piece of scrap that I had, added one of the cut apart pieces from the paper collection, and then just ended up creating another little pocket on the flap. And then I used the half tags that were in the paper collection. There was a page of tags. Some of them were a lot longer, and then it had a strip of some that were smaller. And so that's how I ended up using those in that little pocket that I kind of created as a oops to not cutting my pattern paper big enough for the back cover. So I wanted it to match because you guys know me, I like my symmetry. Used a sticker here, and then in this pocket, it is a gusseted pocket, so there's lots and lots of room. And then I used one of the cut-aparts from the pattern paper collection in here. So we've got the weekly planner in there. And then I used the 1/8 inch ribbon that I received in my design team package to close that. So that is in the inside front cover. And then we have page 1. So when I was looking at all of this, for some reason, like file folders were just stuck in my brain. So I decided to create some. So on the front of page 1, which has a top pocket that I used one of the 6x6 cut-aparts for, we have a front pocket, and then I did end up making a file folder out of the yellow My Colors cardstock that came in the collection. Okay, so then you can use any paper clip you want. I just grabbed some in my stash, and then I just clipped some of the ephemera pieces. So like these are from one of the pattern papers, and I just cut those, fussy cut those out, inked them, and then paper clipped them on inside. And this is here and you'll see in the tutorial because I had another boo-boo, but I'm going to show you how to fix it. So I just used a piece of the die cut, or the cut-aparts, I should say, the cut-aparts from the 12x12 papers, and then just created a ticket with punch and then clip those there. So again, these are from the 12x12 pattern papers, and I just cut those little bits apart and then thought that was kind of fun. So this is kind of what I was thinking, you know, like it's kind of almost like a junk journal too, because you can kind of clip things in here. And then this is one of the cut-aparts from the collection, and I just put that back there. I did ink everything because of the nature of this album. So that's the front. We have the pocket with the file folder, and it's a top-loading pocket. And then on the back, we have a seam binding closure for these 2 flaps here. And I used one of the cut-aparts here, and then this is a piece of ephemera that I cut off of the paper, and I kind of just used the little bit of it there. And then those go up, and you have photo mat opportunities here. And then this is a frame from the ephemera pack. I just put it onto the green cardstock that I received in the design team package, and then you could put your photo here. And then I did it so that it adhered on 3 sides, and then this is one of the die cut pieces, or ephemera pieces I should say, in the pack, and then I just made a little tag. I used some of the mirror paper to make hole reinforcements for tags, and I'll show you that more in just a second. But that's the back of page 1. So really fun, lots of room for photos. There's plenty of room here. And then this is the back side of that 6x6 cut apart that I used from the paper. On the front of page 2, we have a waterfall, again tied with seam binding. So the dark brown is from my Country Craft Creations stash, and then this nude is from the design team package that I received. So the front of page 2 has another pocket, but it's deep, and then we have one of my waterfalls, my stacked waterfall. This is a little cut apart from the collection, backed with a mirror card, and then I left everything kind of plain on the inside except for the spines here because I wanted room for pictures. It's going to bulk up. There's 8 pages here, so that can hold a lot of pictures. Then on the back, these 2 are stickers that I just put here, and then you have another photo opportunity here. That just closes up with your seam binding. Okay, and then we have a deep pocket. So in the deep pocket, remember I talked about those half tags? Well, we've got the full-size tags that were from the collection. They are from the 12x12 pattern paper, so I just cut those out, and I used the seam binding and then the twine to tie around them, and then again I used the mirror card to make some hole reinforcements. So I used a 5/8 inch punch for that, and then just used my Crocodile with a 3/8 inch punch to punch the middle section, and then that's how I did that. And then I did have some of the beautiful ribbon left over from the cover, so I used that. And we just have 5 really cool tags, and you can journal on the back, you can put pictures on the back, whatever you want, but those tuck into that pocket right there. And then there's, of course, plenty of room to add other things. Then, but wait, there's more. Second page has a side-loading pocket, and this one here is from one of the pattern papers in the collection. So the 12x12 paper, there was one side that had a tremendous amount of kind of planning type things. So I use those throughout this book as inserts. So we got that right there. this page turns, and then we have the back here. This is a belly band with some flaps. I used the twine to be the closure for that. Added some stickers here, and then that opens up like that. You have a photo opportunity here and here, there as well. And then this just ties up again with just the twine closure. And if I can get my fingers to work, and then underneath the belly band, we have it's essentially a 5x7 card. I left the front kind of plain because you could put photos on here. I did use the mirror card on that to kind of pop that picture. And then inside, I used one of the ephemera pieces, Journey of a Lifetime, on the inside. So you have plenty of room to put photos inside and on the back. And then the paper here. And I did offset the belly band on purpose because I wanted that journey to hang out. But you totally don't have to do that. And we talk about that in the tutorial. You can totally center this if you want to. So that is the back of page 2. Now the front of page 3 is the same style as the front of page 1. So again, we have another file folder. Here I put a piece. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, on the front of this, I did add some stickers here to this pattern paper. Okay. The tabs for the file folders came from the ephemera pack. And so here, this is one of the pieces from the ephemera pack, and I added some stickers here. And I'm going to tell you how I cut the papers out so it looks like it's continuous there. Here is the file folder, again, pieces cut from the pattern papers, just tucked in here. And then we open this up, and again, more pieces cut from the pattern paper. I thought you could, journal on the backs of these. So I turned that one into kind of a tag. This one is a ticket. I have more ephemera pieces here. So I liked that one. It's an open book. So that's a great journaling spot. And I just fussy cut around that whole thing. There's a ticket, and then there's another ticket there. So that just clips under there. And then here is a piece. You'll see it in the tutorial where I kind of covered up a goof. It's hilarious. I'm sorry. But it actually turned out really good and worked really well, and it gave another decorative element. And then here's the last or one of the other mini tags that I had. Not the last one, but one of those. Okay. Then that just tucks in here. Then we have another top loading pocket. So again, this is one of the kind of the 6x6 pieces, and I tell you in the tutorial how to cut that shape. Sticker at the top, and then there's the back. Another sticker there. Great place for photo opportunities. Okay, and that just tucks in the top pocket. There we go, like so. And then we flip the page, and then here's the back of page 3. Again, just like the back of page 1. Another cut apart here. Great little spot here. I added a sticker here that says memories, and then here's one of the banner pieces. And then these are all set so you can tuck pictures behind. Okay, and then another one of the frames from the ephemera pack. Here's a sticker, and then behind this one I did 2 of the cut apart pieces. All right, and then that just ties with the seam binding. So yeah, I did have to use my own seam, or some of my own seam binding. I did grab that, and then I used the brown, the coffee felt brown for the base of the book. Front of page 4, another waterfall. Added a sticker to here, and then again, all of this is plain on the inside. Back here, I used one of the frames, one of the stickers, and I created a pocket. And then this came from the ephemera pack, and then this was a piece of the pattern paper with the cut-aparts that I didn't use, but I thought that would be a great thing for a ticket. So I just decided to tuck those in there. Thought that was kind of fun. Again, this one has another deep pocket, and it has all 5 of those tags. So I'll take those out and show you those. So on the back of the tags, you could totally put pictures. You could, do some journaling. I just thought they were super fun, and I just really wanted to use them. So when I saw this paper collection, that's kind of, all these things kind of is what jumped out at me, is like, you have to make this, you have to do it this way. So inside here, again, 2 and 4 have a side pocket. This is one of the cut aparts, and it has an itinerary for a day. So I thought that would be fun to kind of journal a day in your journey, in your travels. And then this just goes into that pocket right there. And then on the back of page 4, again, we've got the belly band with the flaps. stickers here and here, and then sticker cluster here. And then we have another one of the 5x7 kind of booklet cards. And let me tie that. Good gravy. My fingers aren't working. Been working on this all morning trying to get it done for you. So here's the other card. And again, I left it blank so you could put their pictures on there. And then on the inside, this is one of the border stickers that I put at the top. So again, lots of picture opportunities on this. On the back here, we have another envelope. So then this unties and opens up. And here is again another one of the cut aparts that I really wanted to use from the paper collection for, you know, documenting your journey. Then here is a sticker up here. You could put a photo here, and then that closes. And again, this is where I had a little boo-boo, and I show you how to fix it. But it also made, I had an aha moment because it made a decorative element where I could use these little mini tags. And then on the mini tags, I didn't tell you this, but I did use stickers where the holes would be. So on the big tags, I used the gold mirror and punched a hole and put ribbons. On these, I used the little heart stickers. And then this is one of the cut apart pieces that I backed on the mirror card and put that there. It says the time of our lives. So that is my album. I do kind of want to show you what I have left because it's not much. Like for pattern papers, like it's literally like scraps. I don't have a whole lot left over with that. I did use 2 sheets of the green cardstock that I received, 2 sheets of the yellow, and then 2 sheets of the craft and brown. The brown is what I used for the 5x7 cards, and then I don't have much of the ephemera left, but I did use up a tremendous amount in this album. So in my haul video, it tells you exactly how much I received, so you have that. And then in the tutorial, I'll show you how to cut the papers so we can maximize the use, especially like when covering these pages, because I was trying to really use, I wanted to use the cut aparts really bad, and I only had 12 pieces of pattern paper total to work with. So, but this all worked out great, and I'm really super happy with how this turned out. So let me know what you think. I will be back really soon with the tutorial, and I hope you like it, and I hope you have a vacation plan so you can make it and use it. All right. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you again soon with more things and tutorial coming up. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.